guys, so I am here for a 28 and 29 week pregnancy update, and that is insane because it's just moving so fast, and I say that each and every update, but it's so true, and there's a lot of shadows going on, but we're making do. So I wrote down all my symptoms again that I've been experiencing these past 2 weeks, and I'm currently 30 weeks. I was gonna say 30 days. I was like, what? 30 weeks and 2 days pregnant because my weeks flip over every Saturday. So I'm recalling on 28 and 29. So I can give you guys a full rundown of how they went. And I have everything written down, like I said, and seriously, these were like the most eventful 2 weeks for some reason, and I didn't expect them to be. I kind of expected it to be like slow going. So let's get started. So my 28 week, the biggest thing is that it was my like welcome to the third trimester. I heard someone call it that and I thought that was really cute. Welcome to the third trimester glucose test, and just like blood check just to make sure everything's going well. So my 28th week I had that appointment, and so they did the glucose, they checked all of my blood levels just to make sure that I wasn't anemic, and to check everything just to make sure I was a-okay. And then, so yeah, glucose, blood test, and then they gave me the Tdap for whooping cough, and then I also got the flu vaccine. So I got everything done in one day. And I'll start off with a glucose test. So that actually wasn't bad. Like, I was so worried about it because I didn't look at the instructions on the little bottle beforehand, and I saw like last minute that it said to eat a low carb, low sugar diet like the day before, and I had so much sugar the day before. Like, my cravings of Airheads and like candies have come back, and I was never like that pre-pregnancy, but being pregnant I want Airheads and like Sour Patch Kids and like that kind of stuff. But I had a bunch of Airheads, I had like a little Frappuccino or it was a big Frappuccino from Starbucks, and it was all sugary, and that was like, and I don't do that often where I just have so much sugar, but it just so happened to be the day before my glucose test. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna pass. So I was like freaking out. I was like telling John and calling my mom and being like, can you please like just think positive thoughts for me, like pray and hope that everything goes okay, because it's not the end of the world if I had gestational diabetes, but I'm just saying, like, it just makes it tougher to have gestational diabetes, and I know that, and so I was just hoping. And then so I didn't have to fast prior. My doctor said that it was fine if I didn't, but I just wanted to like get all that sugar out of my system, so I was just drinking water. And then they had already given me the bottle of like the glucola, is what they call it, prior at my like 24 week. So I already had it, so I got to do it at home, which was really nice and comforting. I just did it like 45 minutes prior to my appointment, and then you just have to chug it in 5 minutes. And so I did that, and I was a little nauseous because I hadn't eaten, that's my Utah accent, but it wasn't as bad, like as a lot of people had mentioned, and I think it's also because I got the lemon lime flavor. So if you haven't done your glucose test, ask for the lemon lime. It just tastes like flat Sprite. And so it wasn't a big deal, and I'm really good at like drinking beverages fast anyway, so I just drank it. And then I got my test results a couple days later, and everything was perfect. I was like, thank you. And I only did the 1 hour one for the glucose, so that was awesome. But with so I got the Tdap and the flu vaccine, as I mentioned. I got my flu vaccine over here, or no, my Tdap was over here because they wanted to give it to me in my dominant arm so that I'd move it more. And then I got my flu vaccine over there. So the thing with that, with the flu vaccine, is I used to never get it, and then I started getting it just because I worked in the hospital, and then the year prior to that, it was around flu season, I think, and I was visiting my baby niece, so I wanted to be sure that I was vaccinated. But each time I've done it, I've gotten like a little bit of the flu, like a 24-hour flu. And I thought this time it wouldn't be the same for whatever reason, and I got the flu so bad because I don't know if you've ever been sick while pregnant, but it like takes your body so much longer to recover. And even with that, like things just intensify because like if you think about it, you're growing a human being, so your body's already working 10,000% harder. That's obviously not factual, but it's working very, very hard to keep this little human alive. And so when you're sick, it doesn't really have a lot of energy to like fight off this sickness. And so I got the flu. Thankfully, it was only 24 hours, but I was so sick. I was like barfing, and I had no energy. It was like the worst flu I've ever had. You know when you have like, this is me like TMI, but you know when you have nothing in your body anymore, but your body makes you puke it out? That's like what was going on, and I was like dry heaving, and it was so bad. And I was just so achy. I couldn't do anything to warm myself up, and I run very, very hot now that I'm pregnant. I just am very like, I'm very temperature hot. And so it was just weird for me to not be hot. I was freezing, and I like didn't even have energy to put on like warm clothing. But finally I fell asleep for a little bit because I was so tired, but my body wouldn't let me sleep. So I like fell asleep in the bath for a little bit, and that gave me energy to like actually get up, turn the heater on, get in warm clothes, and go to bed. And I was home alone because John was away for work. And so I was like, I was kind of like happy that it was in the middle of the night where he couldn't answer his phone, because I know he would like try to like fly back to Utah real quick to help me. So it was just, it was bad. But so that happened to me, but it's okay because it was only a 24-hour thing. I felt a lot better the next day. So that was good. I just took it easy, but I'm like, she is gonna be the strongest little cookie because I've been sick a couple of times now, as you guys know, so sheesh. So that was pretty much my 28th week. Aside from like that sickness and kind of just throughout the week, I was just definitely just all around more tired. I feel like once I hit the 3rd trimester, I just got like this fatigue that happened. So now I take way more naps than usual, usually just like one nap. But yeah, definitely that fatigue kicked back in. Let's see. But even though I was fatigued, I got like a nesting burst of energy where I'm like, I need to organize everything, and everything needs to be like ready for her to come, and her registry, and get that all set up. And that's why you guys saw the nursery reveal of like what I put up already for her. I got all of that done when I was like recovering from the flu, because I just had this like burst of energy to only nest. It was so funny. And then I just got this huge feeling of like things are getting real. Like I am in the 3rd trimester. It's not the 1st anymore. It's not the 2nd. It's the 3rd. And like I'm gonna have a baby soon. Things just started like really like becoming real, and I had like a little bit of a sense of like, oh my gosh, like we have to get everything ready. And that's why I did start to get a lot of stuff ready. So that was pretty much my 28th week. And then my 29th week, nesting some more. I just want to make sure everything's prepared, everything's ready. And then we did more planning for the baby showers coming up. And then also, I think it was 29 weeks and 2 days, I believe, we got 3D photos. Now, little miss is a little sassy, and she didn't want to show her face. She had her hand like covering the side of her face, and she tried so hard, the lady tried so hard to get full on pictures, and we were like moving her and she was not having it. She had her legs like up by her face. She was doing her little yoga in the womb again, because at her 12-week appointment she was on her head like doing yoga. It was funny. But I want to show you guys some of these. So this is like a little bit of her profile. That's really shiny and glossy, but it's so cute. And then this is gonna look a little weird if you're not used to 3D photos. So this is like basically they take like a 2D photo, so like the regular ultrasounds you see, and then they zoom in. So this is like, it kind of looks like a mask, but she had her one eye open, so she was like blinking, and then I saw her smiling and chewing. It was really, really cool. Or not chewing, but like swallowing the amniotic fluid. And then this one, you can kind of tell, but she was smiling a little bit. So like those are her little lips and her nose, and that's my baby. So I'm just so in love. But yeah, we got some of those, and we got it for a really good deal, because I was planning on doing that back in Utah, but I wanted to do it like when I hit like 28 weeks, but then I was just like figuring out a good time, like where our schedules worked out and stuff. But then I saw this online. I just had like a little like push in my heart, my brain, I don't know, to like look up 3D places, and these were like half off. So I was really, really happy about that. And she even offered, she's like, you can come back for like $25. And I was like, these are fine. Like, it's funny to tell people that she had her hand covering her face and she was just being shy and cute. So also I started to feel really good after getting the flu in my 29th week. Like after recovering from the flu, not like I felt good because of the flu, no. And then I just have been feeling, ever since my 29th week, just very peaceful. Even though I've been fatigued and tired, I'm just like, it's like setting in that I'm gonna have a baby, and I feel like that like relaxing in my body is like, wow, like really relaxing me. And I just have had this like calming feeling, like it's weird, like this motherly feeling is the best way I can describe it. Again, prepping for baby showers. Also, I have written down, I've been getting like sore ribs because she is getting stuck in my rib. I feel like my left rib, there's like a part of her, I think it's her hand, that gets stuck or something, because I just feel this like stuck feeling. It doesn't like hurt, it's just kind of a little uncomfortable, so I kind of just like wiggle around and she moves. But I've just been having sore ribs because I think she's just growing. Also, from that ultrasound, she is a big girl. She was, at 29 weeks and 2 days, she was like 3 pounds 7 ounces. And she said her expected due date was the 21st rather than the 22nd. We're still sticking to the 22nd because that wasn't her medical doctor, obviously. It was just a 4D place, 3D ultrasound, like an elective one. So we're still sticking with her main due date of the 22nd, but I was just so surprised at how chunky she was. I always knew she was gonna be chunky, but it's just funny to see that she's already 3 pounds and 7 ounces. And I know it's just an estimation, but I've just always thought that she was gonna be chunky. Short and chunky is what I thought. And then I do, even though I've been feeling that like sense of like peacefulness, like of being a mom and taking care of my little babes, I have been very like just anxious about getting everything done. And I think this is normal, but I just am like, oh my gosh, Kate, like baby showers are coming up. I want to get maternity photos. I want to make sure everything, like we have everything for her nursery. And I know, and then I like talk myself back down to earth, and I'm like, babies just need diapers, milk, like breastfeeding, and love, a place to sleep. So it's like, and clothes. And so we have all that. So it's like, it's fine. And I've been watching videos and they're like, literally mamas, you don't need a lot of stuff for your newborns. And so I'm just like, it's kind of like what society tells you to like get a bunch of stuff and get this like perfect nursery and all these things. I like get caught up in that sometimes, and so my mind's just like scattered, and I like meditate and I relax, and it's all good. Also, the last few days I was really, of my 29th week, I was really just hormonal. Like I felt weird. It was kind of like during my first trimester where I felt just weird, anxious about nothing. I just, not even anxious. Well, yeah, like my heart, because I've dealt with anxiety pretty much my whole life. And it hasn't been until these past like few years that I've really just been at peace with it and like really worked on it. But I just like felt that like beating in my chest, and I was worried about nothing, like literally nothing. I was talking to John and I was like, I have no idea what I'm worried about, but there's something there. And so I've just been meditating, exercising, doing the best I can, and realizing that it's gonna go away in a few moments or a few days, and it's been way better. So that's been happening. But yeah, other than that, I feel really good. Like I do have my very fatigued days where I'm just like, I need a nap. And I've been loving naps lately, like I've said. But like I'll wake up at like 8 a.m. and then be awake for a little bit and then like nap at like 11. And I'm like, all I did was stay awake for a couple of hours and I need a nap. Like what the heck? So I don't know. But just know if you're feeling tired, hormonal, anxious during your third trimester or anywhere in your pregnancy, that's all normal. If you feel like it's not normal for you, or if you feel like it's an excess, talk to your doctor, talk to your healthcare provider, or talk to someone. You can talk to me and we can tell our funny stories about being hormonal and crying about everything because it just happens. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much my update, and I'm caught up on videos now. I have them uploaded. So if you have any video requests of like things you want me to talk about, like pregnancy related, spirituality related, just being human, literally anything. I love discussing like topics. It's so fun to connect with you guys, and it's so fun to just like discuss and then see what you guys like think about something. So any video suggestions, leave them down below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. And my bump, I'll show you guys my bump. She has grown. She's just growing and growing and growing, but I'll show you guys. And this is one of my favorite shirts. I can't remember if I've shown you guys this, but I only got it for $7. $7. So she is a big girl. And this is with my shirt up. And I don't have any stretch marks on my tummy. I do have a couple of like marks on my sides. I think those are stretch marks, but it's nothing I'm worried about. But look at that. Look at that big old baby. So yeah, that's her. Say hi, baby. I love this little babe. Anyway, guys, I hope you have an awesome day. I love you all. You're all amazing. And yeah, have a good day. Bye, guys.